We have different views on his lifestyle, and so I don't.
He's
homosexual.
Right.
And so, Daniel and I, even though we frown upon that lifestyle, we accept and love him, but it puts a strain on our relationship.
Kadi's father walked out when she was 13. She had felt betrayed and lied to because his truth of being a homosexual had come out. And that had shattered her family. The first thing I wanted to look for was how Mum handles such a large brood of kids.
Marley, can you go give Daniel his spelling test? It's turned upside down under his homework packet. Thank you. Marley, can you handle that while I go find Philip?
It's really tough for Mum to deal with all these kids, so she needs Miley to be mini Mum to help her.
Marley, can you let Aiden outside, please?
It's a very common practice for firstborns to have the responsibility of looking after all their younger siblings.
Run and grab Reed's sipper cup from the bedroom out of his crib.
Miley is the oldest child, which leads to Mum putting pressure on her.
I'll do this for you.
Can you go? No, just give that to him for me, please. Thank you.
Honey, I'm flipping you off with my flipping off tower.
Stop talking about flipping people off. Stop it. It's rude.
Kadi's so tightly wound up that she's losing her temper and overreacts with the kids. That something's got to change.
Stop it. What's going on?
Whilst Kadi was getting the kids under control, I was looking in her closet.
I noticed all of the rah-rah stuff.
I keep them.
It's one thing to keep your costume because you love your costume, but that's not the reason why Mum holds on to that.
What do you remember when you look at these?
Fun, having fun. It was so much fun for me. It was such a positive experience. They do represent a time that is long gone now, that I had my own identity. This is what helped me really, I think, get through when my parents got divorced, because I was in high school when it happened, and this was my outlet.
There is a lot to be said symbolically what these costumes represent for Mum.
So, are these symbolic?
Maybe in some way they are, yeah. Yeah.
Talking to Kadi about her cheerleading days made me realise how young she was when she started a family. I was interested to find out about Kadi's childhood and what her relationship was like with her parents.
You have a relationship with your mum and your dad now?
Yes, I have a great relationship with my mom. She's one of my best friends.
But your dad?
I don't see him a lot. We have different views on his lifestyle, and so I don't.
He's
homosexual.
Right.
And so, Daniel and I, even though we frown upon that lifestyle, we accept and love him, but it puts a strain on our relationship.
Kadi's father walked out when she was 13. She had felt betrayed and lied to because his truth of being a homosexual had come out. And that had shattered her family.
The man in your life, your father, then chooses to leave. And the commitment with your mother is no longer there. But he didn't show commitment with you either, right?
I feel the need to have my dad be an active part of my life and pursue a relationship with him. It was something that Daniel and I had discussed before, but there was always that, restriction put on what I could allow, because Daniel wasn't comfortable with that, and that went against his inner, beliefs as to what is right. And he's very much a black and white thinker. And so when he was gone, it was just, the stress of trying to survive with my mom. And so we were just kind of left to, pretty much fend for ourselves. The fun and the joy was gone.
How much have you moved on from that?
Not much.
Okay.
Talking about my dad and getting that issue out in the open was extremely excruciating for me to do, because that is not something that I normally talk about. Today was hands down the hardest thing that I've had to do in coming to terms with the whole situation.
What do you miss?
Having a dad.
Kadi's feeling really lonely and isolated as a parent, and emotionally she's going through a lot of turmoil because her father left when she was very young, which is making her feel abandoned. The DVD footage was absolutely superb. There is still one thing emotionally this family need to overcome, and that's to get Kadi and Daniel working on their relationship with Kadi's dad, Sherman.
How about if I suggested building that bridge this afternoon by a phone call? A baby step forward and having a nice phone call with him. And Kadi will go in and tell her.
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I can try. I was stunned when Joe brought up talking to Kadi's dad on the phone today. I didn't expect it. I think this is a big challenge for me. I'm gonna call your dad. And I'm gonna talk to your dad.
Okay.
See how it goes.
And you're okay with that? I just got this knot in my stomach because I knew it was something I needed to do.
You know why we're doing this? Because you know what? It's about time, isn't it? Let's face it. It's about just really being able to, touch base with your dad, to speak to your father-in-law and to clean the air and to start afresh.
It was time for Kadi to let go of all that bitterness, because Kadi's dad had made a choice to leave the family. And if Daniel loves her, then he needs to accept his father-in-law, regardless of his sexuality.
Hello?
Hi, is that Sherman?
Yes,
Hi, Sherman, it's Joe Frost. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm here with Kadi and with Daniel.
Hey.
Hey, Dad.
I would love just to hear a little bit of how you felt personally with the decision that you made.
Oh boy. I went through just anguish that was unbelievable. I had for years fought it, and I got married, thought that would end it. Got really involved in church. I thought that might help, and actually nothing had helped, and I still had those feelings, and it came to a point in my life where I knew I had to make that decision. And once it was over with for me and I'd gone through it, it was like the weight of the world had been lifted off my shoulders when I finally had come out to everybody.
Phone call made me understand where he was coming from with what he was going through. It's a step in the right direction.
Does your sexuality define who you are as a father?
No.
Does it change how you feel for your daughter and the love that you have for her?
Absolutely not. I love them more than anything, and that my sexuality has nothing to do with that.
Your relationship with Daniel has been one that's had its shares of ups and downs, right? We could honestly say.
Yes.
So, Daniel, hey, this is your dad-in-law here, your father-in-law on the phone.
Hey, Sherman.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm all right. Through talking with Joe and with Kadi and all the issues that have been brought up, the main thing that was brought to my attention was that I'm partly to blame for keeping your guys' relationship on rocky terms. And I just want you to know that whatever it takes for you and Kadi to have a better relationship, I'm willing to do it to help you guys out and help us all out.
All right, that's great news. There's nothing I want more than a relationship with you, Daniel. I respect you tremendously as a father and a husband, because I've been there and seen you work with the kids and jump in there with Kadi, and I'm just proud to have you as a son-in-law, and I hate to be emotional, but I think you're a heck of a guy and a great father, and nothing I like better to have a good relationship with you, bud.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you, Dad. It was just nice to be able to hear how much he is proud of Daniel and cares for him, and I think that probably touched Daniel too.
In order for a relationship to grow, for you guys, Daniel, Sherman, to spend quality time together, it takes time.
Absolutely.
Marvelous.
All right, Dad. Love you.
Hey, I love you too.
Bye-bye.
I think this is really the beginning of building a great relationship. He deserves it. No matter what's happened in the past, he still deserves to be able to be a grandfather.
Give me a hug.
Thank you.
Mwah. Very Really proud of you both.
Thank you.
Serious.